Hello and welcome to the Atlantum Alliance Villa. I am Oscar Wendell with Global Stratologs. Our guest today is Miryem Oukas. You've spent more than 10 years in the region. Tell us about your journey coming to Dubai and how you see the region today.
14 years, actually.
14 years.
Yeah. So how did I come to the region? I had the opportunity of joining a diplomatic mission for France 2012, and I've decided to take on the journey. We have this particular program in France that is also open to any European national that's called the VIE, the International Internship Program. And this is a specific program, VIE for companies, VIA for administration. So I've joined as a VIA. This is how I came to visit the UAE for the first time.
Never left.
Ever since, never left, yeah.
So you had your children here in Dubai.
Exactly. So 14 years later, a marriage later, and two boys later, two young sons later, I'm still there. And I've spent half of my life in France and the other half here in the UAE.
Incredible. So what have you seen in these 14 years? Came about the same time, and I really love that about Dubai, that it's always progressing. And Business France, I'm sure, has progressed along with it.
Yeah, actually, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot of different periods and eras when it comes to the French diplomacy, when it comes to the UAE economic dynamics as well. Lots of people are asking about my longevity in the company, and this is because we've been through a lot. We work in an agency that keeps changing and evolving depending on the economic sectors that are thriving in France, depending on the relationships with their counterparts internationally. And the specificity in this office in Dubai is that we follow 14 countries from here. So we do have to adapt to the specificities of the UAE, of the other Gulf countries, but also we do follow from here Turkey, we do follow Pakistan, Iraq as well.
I've worked with a lot of business councils, and I have a very different impression of Business France, how well organized you are with the embassy. It's a lot more than just doing small little networking events. It's truly deep relationship building.
Yeah, and we actually do a lot. French companies or even international counterparts come to be introduced to us. They think that we are just trade pavilion organizers, and we are much more than that indeed. So if you're building something in the agriculture or in the AI or in the technology, we are here to tell them intelligently which market is the best for them and whether they are ready or not for these markets. So we are here to advise them on a non-profitable way, because we depend on two different ministries, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Economy. So we are not here to take any margin from French companies, and we have this neutral advisory role to them. Our only KPI is that they have impact on the international markets. So we will help them to build their own strategy. So we have offices in US, we're in pretty everywhere in Europe, we're in Africa, South America, and we will guide them on the right markets depending on their strategy, on their expertise, and on their readiness for each market.
And you have your own research divisions dedicated to specific sectors, as I understand, as well.
I know everyone is talking about AI. For example, we may have French company asking us to investigate the right agro-business or the right healthcare strategy when it comes to AI implementation. So we have teams pretty everywhere in the region. We have an office in Saudi Arabia, we're in Qatar, in Kuwait, Oman, from here as well. And we will support them on identifying the right companies to investigate on the trends and how to build intelligently an offering adapted to these markets.
So what is the process?
So the first advisors are in the regions. They are not in the countries. They are a few kilometers away from the companies. So they know the culture, the regional culture, because the culture from south of France is completely different from Paris region, for example.
Can you share a little bit about how you communicate how it is to do business here, and what are the common misconceptions that you need to correct?
Well, indeed, there is a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the Gulf countries. So one first misconception we discussed together earlier is that the fact that the Gulf is a single entity. Or the second one is that it's not an easy growth market. Think they will come here and they can just come with a new concept or with an innovative solution and they will succeed. And of course, there is ambition, of course, there is liquidity, and of course, these countries are attracted by innovation. But we need to also coach them and have them understanding that you cannot just handle a French UAE or a French-Saudi relationship with business trips from Paris from time to time. You have to invest in this relationship. You have to be grounded. You have to get teams locally present. And back to this VIE or VIA program, we do support French companies to establish the right task force and the right talents locally. So you have to invest in the country, you have to invest in the in-country value, and you have to be locally present. That we feel they don't invest enough. They don't invest enough time, they don't invest enough in marketing, they build trust and consistency when it comes to commercial relationship with this country.
I have a lot of experience with Business France, with the pavilions at GITEX, Gulf Food, at WHX, and now Global Health Exhibition. It is a very big operation you run.
Yes.
So I want to talk about the community and how you tie it all together. I was very impressed with how you handled the Iran crisis that took place. Tell us a little bit about your work during that uncertain period.
Okay, we wanted to offer them the right tools that we had. So this was actually a decision from our managing director, Axel Barraud, to conduct this webinar. And we are pretty happy of this webinar that we conducted with 2,000 registered companies. How do we stand in terms of approach, a diplomatic approach, commercial approach, and a more practical and tactical approach. So this is how we came to onboard experts from the logistical sectors as well as French decision makers here that happens to be French counselors and French advisors for the French business community. We gathered the right lineup to talk about these very uncertain periods. So it was pretty practical and pretty operational. We also had our colleagues from the economic department from the French embassy to give a very neutral and very real feedback on how do we stand in terms of investment, economic trends and the dynamics when it comes to the different sectors. So it was like an hour discussion with the capacity to offer the French companies the right tool to better understand this market. And it was pretty appreciated because the discussion was neutral. We didn't want to warn them. So we tried to conduct the most neutral discussion. And we will do it as much as we are expected to do it. So this is the right way to be in contact and alongside the French companies in these uncertain times.
Yes, I'm not aware that anyone else did anything like that in being so effective in their communication with the business community in that sense.
Thank you.
So I want to move on to the Vision Gulf. This is the fourth year.
Yes.
And you are the lead of Vision Gulf. Again, an initiative that I'm not aware of anyone else doing in that sense with the Ministry of Economy and Finance in Paris, June the 18th and 19th. Over 1,000 participants. Tell us about the building such an amazing event across so many sectors and bringing the GCC together.
Well, as the marketing and communications regional director for Business France in the Middle East, I do lead Vision Gulf locally from the Gulf region, but we have a whole team working on that in Paris as well. So Vision Gulf is a real teamwork gathering at least 20 people. And this is what makes the success of this edition, because we all work hand in hand to facilitate commercial relationship between French companies and Gulf companies between French authorities and Gulf ministries. It's a really practical format where, of course, we have these prestigious sessions at Quai d'Orsay, at Palais Galliera, at the French Ministry of Economy as well. But it's more than that. Of course, this is attractive, and we want to do it in the proper way to attract our Gulf counterparts. But it's a trio approach. On that, we just decided to review the full program to reflect the current context. We also decided to review the full program to integrate food security. Food security is a key discussion in the region. So it's a full program tackling AI, energy transition, circular models, healthcare excellence, and we're very happy to have Global Health exhibition. We just had the confirmation from Sanofi as well. We have SAUR, S-A-U-R, in France, that's operating extensively in Saudi Arabia. The Industrial Development Program from Saudi Arabia as part of the discussion. From the UAE side, we are very happy to count DMCC as a partner. We're also very happy to conduct Vision Gulf at a time where a lot of things are happening in Paris. We have Vivatech, so the big European gathering happening in Paris at the exact same dates than Vision Gulf.
It's very fortunate timing with all these events and in the middle of the summer.
Yes, it is. Yes, last year,
place.
But this year it's very fortunate that it happens at the same time.
As a closing question, tell us about what makes Vision Gulf different and why they should make it a priority to come this year.
Okay, so what makes Vision Gulf different is that it has evolved at the same pace of the France-GCC relationship. So we are now conducting the 4th edition. We have ministers, sovereign entities, industrial players, policymakers, business leaders from France and the Gulf coming to the event. We have trust from partners from the very first edition, first Abu Dhabi Bank or Qatar National Bank, who came for the very first edition, who know the format, who know how relevant it is to come to an event, also to build business meetings at the same time. And by the way, we organized more than 2,000 B2B and B2G meetings last year. Business meetings are happening at the same time than institutional sessions and at the same time than conferences under one roof. And of course, it's always a nice moment to come to Paris and to gather over there. So the unique format of Vision Gulf is that they come for the relationship with French counterparts, but they also come to reconnect and to build trust between them, between Kuwaiti, between Qatari, and between the different counterparts. We are now closing the 4th edition, so we are very happy of that.
So there's going to be a special venue this year, the Fashion Academy. Is that right?
Yeah, we actually have a lot of names we cannot disclose for the moment, but we are currently conducting hundreds of discussions with big French names and with entities from the region. So we are pretty optimistic that we will have a very nice lineup per discussion. But you have to come to the event to know.
I can't wait. It's only a month away now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miryem.
My pleasure. My pleasure.